Welcome to Granny Shift, and I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And this is minute 43 of the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
And
there it is.
Sean and Han.
Yes,
and Han?
it's wild. Their names are so similar.
And spelled so differently.
Here's something that...
It's not that wild. I mean, like, if that's the craziest thing we got to talk about, like, can you believe this, guys? Sean is riding with a guy named Han.
Yeah.
They're probably both born the same month, too. Crazy.
What if my name was Rayson and your name was Jason? Wouldn't that be crazy if we... Rayson and Jason.
Yeah. And we spelled it like, it was like R-A-Y-S-O-N.
Or just R-A-S-O-N.
Parents are so creative.
Who would name their kid after something to do with cars, right? That's silly.
What are you trying to say?
I mean, you named your kids after Star Wars.
That's right. Indirectly.
Indirectly.
You just made up your kid's name out of thin air.
Which one? The first one, Rylan?
Yeah. Didn't you make that name up?
No. It was a song that we liked. It's a song.
I just lost so much respect for you, right?
I'm sorry.
All right. So
we're in minute 43.
Yeah. Sean and Han are cruising in Han's car, which is a pretty nice car.
Right. Oh.
Sean's driving.
What I was going to say was...
Sorry, guys. We almost started talking about the minute.
Now I forget what I was going to say. Okay, you start again.
Okay. So, Han...
Right, I remember now.
Can we just start over?
No,
Does this have
we're not.
anything to do with the...
It does. I wanted people to tell us if they liked the version where we recap it in our brain or where we go second by second, because I want to kind of know before we do this one what is the preferred method from people. Because honestly, me...
Oh, they probably didn't listen yet. The last 3 episodes,
right?
We did a method where we watch the whole minute and then just go off our memory of the minute rather than like clicking through it with the subtitles each time. Did you shake that?
Did you shake mine? Champagne and beer, man.
My kids always try that on me.
Okay, all right, sorry. So you were saying?
So we're not going to get many episodes done tonight, are we?
Yeah, we are. We're gonna after this. This one we're gonna do how we used to do it.
Yes,
and the next
subtitles.
minute we're gonna do by memory.
I'll just go like back and forth. Okay, so and maybe a mixture of both.
Right.
So last minute, Sean asked Han if he ever raced DK. Han said no, and it sort of ended with
why is he that good?
Han throwing a deep question at Sean of, what's the point of a race? He's trying to get his gears turning, you know?
Right.
What's the point of the race? And then Sean says this like real like, it just makes you not like him, you know? The way he said this, he's like, see if I'm better than the other guy.
Yeah, better in what sense? Like, better hygiene? Better academics?
I think we could assume he meant about driving his car.
Okay. But I think that Sean I literally think that he equates winning a race to being a better human being.
Right. But when you think like life is all about cars, you know what I mean? I can see that.
Yeah. I can see someone make that mistake.
Like people that think that their career is the most important thing in their life, they think that the more money you make, like that's the most important thing. You got to make more money than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
The more money you make, the better person you are.
Yeah, and the happier you'll be.
Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a 4-wheeler.
I've never seen somebody on a 4-wheeler without a smile.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. Okay.
What is it, a boat?
Jet ski.
Fishing rod?
Wave runner. So, but now Han drops some wisdom on him.
Yeah.
He said it just proves that you're faster.
Yeah.
Like,
I
think Sean's like, well, yeah, that's what I just said.
That's the same thing.
And now I'm confused because this conversation is supposed to be like deep and thoughtful, but it doesn't quite make sense to me, right? So Han's like, if I have to race, it would have to be for something important.
I wonder what it means. What is important enough? Like,
race. I mean, it seems strange. Like, that's not deep. That just means like you want to bet money on it.
Right.
Like you don't want to race for fun. You're only gonna race if there's like, do you know what I mean? I'm like
high stakes.
Yeah, it seems weird.
Yeah, I agree. That does seem weird. It's
not that deep.
No.
It's not as deep as they make it out. Because Han's in this like calm state. He's kind of looking up at the horizon.
Right, like he's got many years of experience.
Brad in our live stream says he prefers the second by second because there's more detail. That's what you're getting here.
He also prefers the reversal TV. So
if you're in a live stream, you'll notice the new setup, which is pretty top notch.
Yeah.
Millions invested.
Plenty invested. By you guys. A lot of it. Right?
Well, yeah, we have been using the money from our patrons for two things.
Giveaways?
Cocaine and horse.
Oh, nice. I forgot.
No. Giveaways and upgrading our setup.
Right. I've been buying the upgrades and you've been buying the cocaine and horse.
Yeah, we said 50-50, right? But we share.
Right. Yeah, when you come over, we use the upgrades together. And when I come over, I watch you do cocaine.
Yeah.
Am I leaving anything out?
I mean, some people like to watch.
I watch you do cocaine.
Your sister listens to this, Ryan.
She laughs.
That's good.
She knows me.
Good Lehman.
She knows that I joke.
All right. Sorry for giving your last name out on the podcast. All right.
So then, okay, so he says, if I'm going to race this for something important, and Sean says, then why are you letting me race? And I didn't know that he was letting him race.
Right. Like,
he let him race once.
This is the next part that doesn't make sense. Okay, this very next part does. He says, because your DK's kryptonite. So this is a superhero illusion. Yeah, but we kind of talked about that. I was like, Sean is just empowering DK to flex on him. That's all. DK doesn't care about him.
Right.
He just likes flexing on people with egos that he knows he can beat.
Right.
Why does Han feel the need to provide DK his kryptonite? And what is kryptonite?
So kryptonite is a mineral from the planet Krypton.
Okay.
That exploded, and it was a planet that exploded.
All right.
And as it exploded, the last remaining members sent their little son in a capsule off into space to survive, and that capsule landed on Earth, and it was Superman.
Okay.
Clark Kent. So he came out, and he got all his powers from the Earth sun. That's where he gets his powers from. The Earth's sun.
Okay.
And when you bring kryptonite into it, it weakens him, and he doesn't have his superpowers.
Oh, wait. So kryptonite is a negative to Superman.
Right.
So he's saying Sean is a negative to DK? I thought kryptonite was like your thing that gets you going.
No, kryptonite is the only thing that makes you weak.
Huh.
So, but in a sense, you're still right.
I heard this saying a lot.
Yeah. But in a sense, it's like DK is like awesome. He is prideful. Then you bring in this egotistical little loser guy from America.
Punk.
Right. That is DK's weakness. He could just be like, nah, I'm not going to waste my time, But you bring in this little...
But I'm trying to wrap my head around this because I always thought kryptonite was like your motivation almost.
No.
But is it because you're trying to avoid it that you have to work harder? All right, so why would Han want to provide DK with something that's his weakness? Because your DK's kryptonite. He's saying like your...
I don't think that Han really likes DK.
I think you might be right. So, Brad in live stream is saying this is Granny Shifton presenting movie Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I think I did. No, I never
Did you watch
saw
Man of Steel?
I don't think so.
He's suggesting it's the next Backyard movie.
Is that the guy with the big hammer?
That's Thor. That's from the Marvel universe.
Superman's in that?
From DC. Totally different movie.
All right. Interesting. Disney buy them yet?
Disney owns Marvel, not DC.
Who owns DC?
WB.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I don't watch their stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just not as good.
Yeah. But if you've seen like Suicide Squad,
Yes.
That's DC.
Okay.
Because the Joker's in that.
I did like that.
Joker's Batman. Batman is DC.
Batman's DC.
Right.
Huh.
Here's a good way to think about it. If you know anything about the villains, or I mean the heroes or villains,
Ant-Man.
think about where they live. If it's a made-up city, then it's DC. If it's a real city, then it's
Marvel.
How
about Ant-Man?
Ant-Man?
Where does he live?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
that didn't work.
but that's Marvel.
All right.
But like I think of like Superman. Okay, he's from where's Superman from? Metropolis.
Krypton?
Metropolis. That's a made-up city.
Okay.
Batman's from Gotham. That's a made-up city.
Gotcha. Okay.
Tony Stark's in New York. That's a real city. I mean, I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've never been there. But.
All right. So, but how do you wrap your head around? You're saying DK doesn't, or Han doesn't actually like DK.
I don't think.
That's why he knows, like, this is what DK has things he needs to accomplish. And when somebody like Sean comes in, it distracts him from accomplishing those things.
I
right?
think so.
Okay.
I think it's just
and Han's all about that. He's like, this is okay. So he's not actually on DK's side. He's just playing that.
I don't think so. I think his like he said last minute, his real reason for his whole friendship with DK is to keep his uncle, DK's uncle Kamada, off of his back for whatever schemes he's running.
Okay, so it's a game he's playing.
Whatever.
All right, we need the next line in here. We're 20 seconds into this minute, but this next line is important. He says, "And you owe me a car." So the two reasons he's letting Sean race is because he's DK's kryptonite, and he owes him a car. So you could assume letting him race, referring to the first time.
Right.
But he didn't owe him a car that time.
Right.
So now you have to assume he's letting him race right now.
Right. Like they've already set up that he's going to race.
Right. But if he's about to race right now, it has nothing to do with DK.
Yeah. Yeah. The lines don't make any sense.
And Han is about to let him race a car right after he wrecked his other car. Why would he let him do that?
Because he's DK's kryptonite.
Okay, keep going. This gets way worse, all right? Now, a Skyline goes whizzing by.
All blurry
a blue
and stuff.
R34.
Yeah, nice looking car.
And Sean's like, ooh, I want to race him.
Sean just like watches it go by. He doesn't like make any facial thing.
Inside, he's going, ooh, can I race him?
I mean,
and he looks to Han for the okay to do it.
Yeah.
And Han gives it to him. And the first thing Sean does is turn the nitrous on and go and start blasting nitrous into his engine. He's not even racing the guy yet. The guy went past him. So he's literally using the nitrous. I feel like nitrous is what you use when you just need a little more.
Right.
You don't use
when
it
you're
to
already
like,
topped out and
hey,
you need
let's
a little
go.
more.
Let's catch up to to me there's like catch up to the guy and see if he wants to race you.
Right.
Oh, I just used all my nitrous up catching up to him.
Even so, it's like a random street race. Why are you like a highway rolling race? Why are you using your nitrous?
Yeah.
Like
no. And he like hits the nitrous and then just redlines the car like wah, 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 and then grabs a gear. Like what in the world?
If I was Han, I'd be like, "Whoa, settle down, man! Like that nitrous ain't free."
Yeah, and you just wrecked my other car. Like this car probably makes some power.
Yeah, they both get thrown back into their seat,
and he passes the Skyline.
Yeah, flying past.
So I guess he wins that race.
Like this guy, did the Skyline even know they were racing?
All of a sudden, an RX-7 goes flying by. He's like, "Oh, that guy."
Yeah, yeah. Sean is like he
very
thinks
happy
he's
with
hot
himself.
stuff. Like because they could have set that up a little bit better, I think.
I'm telling you, this whole minute just irks me. if you haven't picked that up yet,
I do like this. I do appreciate this part.
Yes,
he's flying past the police.
All right, let's talk about this.
And they're caught going 197 kilometers per hour.
That is every 100 kilometers is 60 miles per hour. So they're about 120
almost.
Did you notice the cops are wearing helmets? Like white, smooth helmets.
And they're like, and like their outfits, they're wearing like reflective gear. Sorry, I backed up a little bit here.
It looked like they should be on a bicycle or a motorcycle maybe.
Or like in a circus.
So Sean sees them as he's whizzing by. Looks like they should be riding horses at a race at a casino.
They got gloves. They got like, this isn't their seatbelts. This is like reflective vests.
They have like the vest you wore on the bus when you were
like the crosswalk lady.
Crosswalk lady wears
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And yeah, the gloves I love. I mean, they're like not even just like hand gloves. They like come
and
up.
They come up
and
the
they
forearm.
flare out. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sean's like all worried. He's like, shoot, we just passed a cop and they're radaring us. And he's watching his mirror. And he's like, what? They didn't try to chase me.
Right.
And Han's like, yeah, anything over 180 kph.
Yeah, the police cars here are only factory tuned.
Yeah.
If you can do more than 180K, they can't catch you.
Now, do you think that's true? Like legit?
They can't catch you?
No, like they won't pursue, I think is what he's saying, right? They're not going to pursue it.
So they're not going to pursue because they can't catch.
Right. So like, all right, not worth it.
Yeah, it seems a little strange.
Like they're not even going to try.
I don't know. To me, that seems strange that they wouldn't even try.
I mean, it kind of makes sense if you're going 120 miles per hour and they pull out. So they see you, from a dead stop. Right. By the time they get up to 60 miles per hour, you're a mile or two down the road.
Right. But
I mean, it might not be. I didn't do the math.
But they're like, hey, squad car 84, you got a orange bogey headed towards you at 100.
So they say you might be able to outrun a cop car, but you can't outrun a radio.
Heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that.
The hard way
true.
You heard that, huh?
Nope.
All right.
I've never had to outrun a policeman. Have you? Should we?
Not recently. Not recently. All right.
All right. And that's where the minute ends. He's
Yes.
cruising at 200 kph, and he beat that Skyline.
Yeah, he did.
Obviously.
He passed it like it wasn't even racing him.
Have you ever been passed like that on the highway?
I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that where you're like, oh, they probably weren't even racing you, man. You
Right.
think you just beat them, but they weren't racing.
I feel like in the place that I work, I get that where people are like, dude, I came up to this like GTO and I just like pedal to the metal, flew past that thing like it was nothing.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And I'm like, did it know that you were even like there? Like,
they call that a racer flyby.
Yeah.
So there's a name for it.
That makes sense. But yeah.
All right.
Well,
wrap it up.
Thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jason.
And thank you to Ty and Shannon for being patrons because they won our last 2 giveaways.
Oh, yeah. In a row? No.
Ty and Shannon and Brian from Movies Are Dope.
Did he win the mugs?
He won a mug.
Nice.
Shannon won a mug.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you?
But Brian.
Are we going to save on shipping on that one?
Brian is giving his mug to
he's like,
Brad.
Nice.
Because he's a good friend, and he bought 4 of them already.
He's a very giving guy.
I mean, they're awesome mugs. They really are.
Yes.
So, thank you guys for being patrons. Smallville, Kansas is where Superman grew up.
Ryan is reading the live stream for all you confused listeners.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for listening. I'm Ryan.
And we already did this.
Always
Winning's
remember.
Winning.